In the previous lesson, we sent data from an Arduino Nano ESP to Laravel and save it in the database. Now I want to move to the next step and make this data visible in the browser. I have already created the route for the device. Next, we need to populate the view with information. We have a route for devices, all devices, for edit a device and device show. I will change this zone, device ID, device controller, show. And now I go in the show method and I return here a view. And now I will make a LiveWire component for the view. I go to the terminal, php artisan, make LiveWire devices, show device. Now in the show blade PHP I will insert the template x app layout, and now I have a white page with the navigation, but now I go to the LiveWire devices, show device. Now the code look like this. In the show blade PHP I have the LiveWire component insert here with the device ID, and the device controller I have this function device find or fail and return view. In the LiveWire component show device, and in the view from the LiveWire component I have this information. For now it's just a simple test, and the data look like this: device details, ID, 7, name, type, and identifier. But I will make a beautiful design. I inserted in the show blade some tailwind classes, and in the LiveWire component too, and the design look like this: device information, some headers and headlines. I've only keep this information for now: device name, device type, device identifier, and created add. But this device has sensors. I want to show here the sensors too, because in the device model I have this relation public function sensors, return this has many sensor. I can use device with sensors, find or fail device ID, and in the view I insert this code where if device sensor is empty, no sensor found for this device, and here are the sensors data for the device. And the view look like this, and here is every recording data from the sensor. But in reality we don't want to save every data from the sensor in the database, but maybe we want to see the data from the sensor in real time, and maybe it will be saved in the database only at certain events. For example, if the temperature exceed a threshold. For handling real-time data from sensor in a LiveWire component without saving every single data point to the database, only recording when specific conditions are met, we'll need a strategy that involves both front-end and back-end adjustment. In this lesson I will show you an easy method with cache, but later I will use real WebSocket. But for now, I caching the data. That means the method cache the incoming sensor data under a unique key using the device ID. This approach ensures that the data for each device is stored in the cache. The data is cached for a period here 4 seconds, which is appropriate for real-time data display scenarios. The short duration ensures that the cache does not hold outdated information for too long, but is sufficient for displaying recent updates. Then I check if the temperature exceeds 100 degrees and save it to the database, and I return a response: data received and cached, no critical action needed, and here high temperature recorded, data saved. For the sensor data, I did a LiveWire component, sensor live update. I put in the LiveWire sensor, and this is a clear example of how to retrieve and manage real-time data from a caching layer within a LiveWire component. It is pretty easy. And for the view, I have a simple view with headline, live sensor data, temperature, humidity, but I use here for now wire pool. This wire pool fetch data is a directive in LiveWire and invoke a specific method on the LiveWire component. This directive is used to refresh part of your LiveWire component at a regular interval, and for example, this refresh the component by 1500 milliseconds, but that is only for now. Later I will use a socket. And this LiveWire component I insert in the view show device from the LiveWire, and right now I can see in the browser that each 1500 millisecond I get here the new data. Now you can see the data from the Arduino Nano ESP is sent and received in the LiveWire without to save in the database, but I will show you. I will delete the sensor data from the old sensor data from the database. Perfect. And now I will refresh the page. I don't have any data. And works fine. And I will change a little. I will adjust the code for testing 100 degree I modified the ESP code a bit for to do some test. Now I will enter a value manually in the serial monitor. That is the code, and I read the input from the serial. I convert input string to a float, and for the humidity I only use a random value between this and this. But in the browser I don't have any data. I will insert for example 10. I sending the sensor data and I get in the browser. But I want to check if the data is saved in the database when I insert, for example, 105 degree, and the data is here, and now I refresh the browser and the data is saved. So much for this video. At the end I show you something else easy to do. For example, to insert a background red if the temperature exceeds 27 degree. It's pretty easy. I insert a conditional styling. For example, if the temperature is more as 27 degree, I add BG red 500 text white, else BG white test black, and it's work very fine. Bye.